sense of the entire insane situation that we all as humans seem to find ourselves in. There's a huge epidemic of hopelessness that we all seem to be living with. And interestingly enough, the more stuff that we have, the more hopeless we feel. Most of us strive all of our lives to feed the ego within. And nobody's immune. We all have the job of fighting against our ego, which is never satisfied. We are living in a culture that's quite simply gone insane. We live in a culture that builds temples, monuments to consumerism, to devastation. And we're fed propaganda that says this is what we need to do to be considered a success. And what is a success? Being able to consume more of the earth's resources than the next person? Being able to pump out more toxic fumes because we can afford to? Run a little faster, be more ruthless. Buy the latest fashions, get laid more easily. Cutthroat competition is just the name of the game. He who dies with the most toys wins. When life becomes too painful, we withdraw into the artificial human, the internet. If reality seems too ugly to deal with, we will withdraw into virtual reality. It's less messy. It prevents us from making any uncomfortable changes in our lives. And of course, this is encouraged by the corporations that own the pipes, so to speak, the machine. The machine will save you. It will give you a new identity in a place where nobody is ugly, nobody is poor, nobody smells bad. So we prefer it to the difficult task of making the world a better place by cooperating with others. It's pushed on us to isolate ourselves from one another, to separate, to find any little tiny thing that will separate us and drive a wedge into it. This is modern culture. This is where we live. And we are encouraged not to think of the bad things that come about from our virtual fantasy land. The sweatshops, the lack of privacy. What we have lost through technology is far greater than what we have gained. And as we sit hunched over our keyboards, staring at millions of screens, does it not occur to us that there could possibly be another way? That there could possibly be some sort of salvation from this nightmare that we find ourselves in? Homo sapiens are a strange lot. They're capable of the most noble acts of self-sacrifice, and they are also capable of the worst sort of depravity and evil. And isn't there at least a little bit of that same duality in all of us? And life seems to be a balancing act between the two. Some will recognize this and endeavor to deny the dark side, fight against it, become who we are meant to be. But it's never an easy battle. We're living in a crazy culture. We're living in a culture of denial. We're living in a culture of spectacle. And we are living in a culture in decline. Not just the culture is in decline. Economies around the world are in decline. Nations are in decline. The planet is in decline. Although there are many good and generous people in the world, it seems that the worst of the worst are the ones that direct things, and they are directing the planet into extinction. And quite honestly, I am not one to discuss all the science, all the overwhelming evidence, the melting polar ice, extinction of species. I don't need to go into it to know that we're in a world of trouble. Insane militarism, insane capitalism. You know the rest of the story. Well, that's about it, my friends, for now. Just another pensive, cheery, optimistic video from the Vegematic channel. And I'd like to take a minute to thank everybody who's over the years left comments, supported me by subscribing and sharing. And in spite of this, being a minuscule hidden channel on YouTube, I have come to treasure and get to know some of the people who watch these and appreciate the work that I put into them. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
We cannot believe, to be honest with you, we've gotten away with this so long. Hard, you harden. Hard, you harden. Hard, you harden. Very small, very small. You're not going to get in. Very small, you're not going to get in. Very small, very small.